And bing, bang, bop. There we go. What is up, chat? Give me just one moment. I gotta send out some notifications. You know how it goes. And. Alright, chat, I have something cool for you today. So, as I'm sure a lot of you already know, the Bracken pack, out of all of the packs that are in um, the vanilla mod pack, the Bracken pack is definitely one of my favorites. And today I have gotten a few of the data pack developers, the Bracken pack developers, in a call with me. They are waiting for me to undeafen. And yeah, we're just gonna go through. I'm gonna ask them a few questions. If you guys have any questions of your own, feel free to ask them in chat, and I'll relay them so that they can answer them. And yeah, it's just going to be a bit of a chill stream today. Streaming at 1 a.m. today. Yep. Frick you, Europeans. Sorry. Oh, welcome into the stream, Zombified T-Rav. And welcome, Waterflow and Blazer, by the way. But yeah, just going to be a chill stream. I'm going to probably be in the Feywild. I want to make a base in the Feywild Castle today while we are talking with the devs. Imagine being European. Yep. But yeah, let's undeafen real quick. All right. How's it going, devs?
Hey, howdy. Hi.
So yeah, we
Oh,
got Tuxxic
Bracken.
and Bracken seems to be having some audio issues.
Here we go.
There we go.
All right.
Can you guys hear them okay?
Yeah.
Waterflow, you're going to sleep, but am I joining the ACC? I probably won't be.
All
You
right,
can hear them?
sweet.
All right, perfect.
I guess we introduce ourselves.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Area.
Bracken, I feel like you're still a bit quiet.
Oh, I haven't
Oh,
been saying
I
much.
guess it is chat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's fine though.
Bracken, do you want to start with the introductions?
Okay. I'm Bracken. I'm the head, I guess, guy of the Bracken pack.
As
um,
per the name.
yeah. I developed the Bracken pack and just kind of lead things from where they go. I guess I don't really have much to say.
Well, I'm Tuxxic. I work on a lot of the lore, and from time to time, I drop some art every now and then. On rare occasions when I'm not busy with college. But I also help along with ideas and sort of I do a lot of the Google Docs of just keeping up with ideas and organizing things, and I've made a lot of like Google Drives for inspiration, and I guess I help organize a lot of what goes behind the scenes, just to make sure that people are getting a good idea of sort of what to expect for future development. Of course, and with anything in the Bracken pack, I think a lot of the development that we do is kind of up in the air. But when we want to do something more structured, like I'm sure that we'll talk about maybe some future development stuff, um, I help with like Google Docs and stuff like
And
You're
hi,
really
I'm
good at.
Sky Will Die, and I own
that.
everybody on the Bracken Pack team. This is my data pack, and I take all of the
Oh
revenue
my
for
gosh,
myself.
what the heck, dude! I can't handle this transfer of power. Oh, I'm gonna be my brain is overloading.
It's a coup.
But yeah,
Woohoo!
we do also have Grandmaster here, who is muted. Probably won't be able to actually interact much, though they are in chat from time to time. Um, another developer on the Bracken Pack team. I'm sure these two can give us a bit more info on Grandmaster.
Yeah.
Oh, he's.
Uh, Go
Oh,
ahead, Bracken.
no, you go ahead.
Okay, all right. Grandmaster helps with a lot of the data pack programming. He has been a huge help with optimizing a huge amount of the pack, organizing things. He worked on specifically building out the key system for the Arc, which is in packs, which is giant portal to all the different dimensions. He's also worked on a lot of the other stuff, so he's been a huge help with development um, in the pack.
he's responsible for a lot of quality of life changes to from making the pack way more efficient in terms of computer impact. He's also the reason why you get fire resistance when you're going from the overworld to Dormus, or to the Underdark, or back and forth.
That
Um,
is definitely one of
that was his idea.
one
That was
of the nicer features of the pack.
Yeah, I
uh,
think
all right. Well, we have our first question in chat. What are some of the things that the Bracken pack adds? Now, I would like to give my little piece here. Um, and I would like to say a lot of things, a whole lot.
yeah.
But yeah,
It kind of
oh, sorry,
oh
go.
sorry. It kind of started as just like a world gen pack where I just wanted to add different dimensions. Um, what got me into it was the April 1st. Was this back in 2019 or 2020, where it was the Infinity Snapshot?
Wherever it was the
yes,
1.16 snapshots.
still my
That got
favorite
me
snapshot.
so excited about like dimension hopping.
Mm.
And so then once Mojang made it possible for custom dimensions to be added to the game, I really got interested in that, and so then I just kind of made just generic element themed dimensions, and then that kind of just led from one thing to another. They got a bit more fleshed out, and then that's what we have currently with the Bracken pack. We got 11 dimensions that we add, and then of course if you add dimensions, you got to add biomes, you add mobs, you add items, and it just kind of branched out from there.
Hmm. Another thing that I guess the pack adds in a sense, although a lot of the documentation of it is online, is a lot. We've built a universe of our own these past couple of years. Me, Bracken, Dr. C, we're the main sort of lore devs, and it's been really fun kind of building out this gigantic world together through this pack, and kind of seeing it evolve just like the pack has been really fun. I mean, I think 3 years ago, if you compare where the Bracken pack was to where it's been now, completely different. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean it's been crazy, watching all of this unfold. But that is something that is quite cool about the Bracken pack. You don't really see a lot of data packs have like a full fleshed out lore system, but the Bracken pack goes deep on that.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
very
was
deep.
the we kind of wanted it to um, be a bit of a platform for creative people to jump off of. You
Mm,
know, kind of like
Yes.
with D&D. There's a lot of framework, a lot of world building, but then there's also a lot of things left ambiguous, and a lot of places where people can create a character and then insert their character here or make a village here. And so that's kind of been the main theme going forward is we'll make these fossils, but you've got to figure out what the dinosaur looks like. You got to figure out
mm.
how big it was and what noise it made, and all these added details that we're purposely leaving out, and that way we can kind of get people excited about it and they can contribute to it in their own way.
Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
people like I feel like Yokaiza. I don't know if that I'm pronouncing that name right, but they have done like a massive like lore system that they've made all on their own, on top of the Bracken Pack lore. And with that, I have not really watched myself, but I've seen like all the different announcements and thumbnails, and that all looks really cool, and it's all possible
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
you haven't fully made that story concrete, but you've made it a bit more vague so that people can add their own stuff.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
that's really what it's all about. Seeing stuff like that is what
Hmm.
gets me the most excited, because like everybody, I feel like, has a little bit of an artistic need to kind of vent and to make something, build something, paint something. And so if we can get people to use us to do that, that's awesome.
And I think at one point, we talked about, well, I mostly talked about with Dr. C, like adding some of the like lore stories that you see on the wiki to the game, but really, we want the pack to be, especially in game, a blank canvas.
Mm.
And Bracken's kind of talked about it already, but um, it's kind of why we don't have like direct lore in game. We don't have like books that you can find that tell you like little stories or whatever. Um, it's all there's a lot of environmental storytelling, especially with like the structures. Um, there's a lot of little hidden doodads that even I learned. from Bracken when he talks about some of the things that he works on. There's a lot that I don't know. I think
I have a
Bracken.
nasty habit of leaving people in the dark sometimes.
But if you look close enough at some of the structures, there are definitely hints to lore that we don't necessarily say or even have written on the wiki. There's a couple of hidden things that you might know about that we don't necessarily say because we want people to come to their own conclusions, to make their own theories, to figure it out themselves, and not
Hmm.
just spell everything out for you. Because that makes what makes an interesting universe is the mystery. It's figuring everything out. It's piecing what little is there and coming up with your own things.
Yeah, yeah, big time.
Yeah,
And
oh, sorry. Yeah, go
oh
ahead.
no, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I would say that that is definitely what makes the Bracken pack like so good for lore. Yeah, is like the lack of context, I guess, in game,
Hmm.
because yeah, like if a Fey village were to explain why the two sides were like against each other of like the Illagers and the regular wandering traders. I feel like if that were something that were explained, then a player couldn't see that and go, "Oh, it's because this and this and this," and then I can say this in like whatever, um, like video or whatever I'm making. They would have to be locked to, "Oh, it's because of this exact explanation because that's what the devs want."
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't want people playing the game to feel like, oh my gosh, they're kind of forcing something down my throat, or they're kind of, pushing this narrative that kind of railroads what I want to do with the game.
Hmm.
Here, it's just in the background. If people ask me a lore question, I try and, although I don't always stick to it, I try and do a rule where, if possible, I'd like to raise 3 questions every time I answer one.
Hmm. I feel like that definitely follows, and this is entirely speculation because it started out as speculation, but of course, I'm sure you guys have heard of game theory, with their Minecraft theories, and
Oh
they
yeah.
always talk about like how everything is there, it's just in the background, and obviously none of it has been confirmed. And if any of what they have like put together is actually true, then that would mean that like Minecraft follows a very similar narrative to what the Bracken pack tries to follow, where it's everything is in the background and it's not just right up front in your face, like a lot of games are.
Um, there you go. Grandmaster's comment: ocean monuments were made by aliens. Well,
Wait, what? Oh.
that's that's one thing that always kind of breaks the immersion sometimes if you're playing a mod or a data pack on Minecraft, where you can clearly tell it's a little disjointed. You can tell the artistic vision that Mojang has versus this one developer or group of developers. And I really wanted to avoid that as much as possible, to try and make it as coherent with the vanilla Minecraft as possible. So it just feels like, what playing Minecraft in 2040 would be like.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're trying to fast forward the 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 Mojang development on your own.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah, and I actually just earlier today saw a bunch of arguments between like should a data pack feel Minecrafty or should it feel like it's something like that just somebody came up with one day. And I feel like the Bracken pack does actually ride that line very well because this is stuff that would definitely never be seen in vanilla Minecraft, like a massive structure that's like a statue and then it's filled with gold and has a mushroom on top like the one that I'm looking at right now. Like that isn't something that Mojang would add, but it still feels like I am just playing a game of Minecraft, going along discovering, different cool world gen things and like different hidden structures and stuff. And it
Yeah.
holds the mystery that originally Minecraft had before, I played way too many hours in it.
Mhm. Yeah. I remember my first playthrough of Minecraft and the first time I went to the Aether. feelings like
Oh
those
man,
are
yeah.
what I'm trying to recreate, you know?
Uh, a question from Yoan. All right, here's another question. Seeing as though the BP's community is really art oriented, will a music or art related contest slash event be organized one day? Just thought that sounded interesting.
Well, that would be
You
interesting.
can answer the. Yeah, you can answer that one.
I think that'd be really cool. I mean, that's Yoan's on our dev team. So like if that's something that you're interested in, like I'm for it, you know?
So what you're
Like
saying is, Yoan, do it yourself.
well no, I'm all I'm saying is you got my go ahead, dude. Like we can totally do this. Like we can
That is something that I would absolutely love to see. I'd be happy to to insert my badly drawn sketch of, I don't know, like a dweller or something.
that'd be awesome. Well, Yoan is our pixel art dude.
Of
So
course,
like
yeah.
99% of all the custom items that you see in the game, he did.
Yeah, chat,
So
you have Yoan to thank for this little World Sword book, which is, I gotta say,
yeah,
the magic books are my absolute favorite sprites in the
he does
entire
such a
game.
good job. Like it is breathtaking. Like that's just
I'm working on a project with a team that actually doesn't include Bracken because the only reason why the only reason why it doesn't include Bracken is because I want Bracken to focus on the main pack because it has to do with the Bracken pack. Probably not going to come out in a couple of years, but I'm just going to go ahead and say right now, it is a mod pack that centers around putting the modded content in the Bracken dimensions. And one of the things Yone's done in this mod pack is if you look up the Celestial mod, he has created and orchestrated these super interesting. Bracken, I might have to show you this later. Super interesting custom skyboxes that he custom built himself,
Okay.
and they're really, really cool. I've got a little bit of a team going on working on that. We're not actively working on it right now, but it's super fun, and hopefully at some point can really start crushing development. The plan would be to create a sort of custom progression line per the species and use origins as like replacement for the races in the Bracken pack.
Okay.
okay, cool.
Uh, um, but
Tuxxic works so hard on so many different projects. Somebody stop him.
I try. It's fun. Projects are fun. You always gotta have the way I see it is you always have to have something that drives you forward. Because and I think this is true with art. Um, a lot of the times, what ends up happening is people get too invested in like practicing or
Hmm.
kind of maybe doing something off the side, but you don't really have a vision for it. But when you have a vision, when you have something that keeps you going forward, um, I think that really helps you kind of remember why you're doing this thing in the first place. And I've got a lot of really fun and crazy ideas for a lot of things, even my own stuff that isn't necessarily um, associated with the Bracken Pack that I want to work on in my future. And I think it's having those projects that really help me remember why I do what I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, maybe on the horizon it'll come out. It's a long ways away from, I mean, I might have to learn JavaScript, which uh but you know it's I think it's worth it. Just because the I want to make cool stuff and be a part of a team that helps make cool stuff, and being able to do that with other people is just so much fun. But yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, and Grandmaster has chimed in on the art contest thing, saying that I would make much better art than him.
Whoa.
which I do not agree
And
with. I am
now the
crap.
pressure's on, Sky. Oh my gosh.
I
You got to prove
know,
your
I
art skills
know.
now.
My art skills are absolute crap.
It's like I got a sibling who's an amazing artist, and at a young age, I realized that, like, I think I was like 8, and I was like, I remember when she passed me up, and I'm like, oh man, she was like 5 and I was 8. She was drawing better than me, and I'm like, okay, I know my place now. I'll I'll be an enabler.
How do you be an enabler for somebody drawing? Are you locking
You
locking them up and
you encourage them, you cheer them on, you disagree with them every time they say, "Oh no, you're just saying that because you know me," and I'm like, "No, it genuinely is really good," like.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there. Oh, dude. So honestly, there's a lot of days where I look at my art, I'm like, dude, I am so far from the industry standard because I am getting my degree in illustration at a college, Bachelor's of Fine Arts, and for me, it always feels different because it's not a hobby. It's something that I want to make money off of. And in an age that AI art is getting better and better by the day, as well as social media, and you get to see so many different young talent, it can be kind
yeah.
of difficult some days to pick up the pen and just draw something.
Yeah.
I can absolutely agree with you there because I mean, for me, YouTube has had a like very similar effect on me where occasionally I just look at like some of my friends who I'm in a Discord with like a bunch of YouTubers. And it's just like, oh yeah, their videos are, way better quality than mine, but sometimes you just gotta keep on trudging forward.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
exactly. Well, once you get to the mindset of giving up, um, you know, you got to ask yourself, who am I doing this for? Am I doing this for attention, or am I doing this because I love doing it? And you gotta get to the point where you gotta tell yourself, I love creating. I love
Yeah.
making things. I love, regardless of how popular it is, I love that one guy that just sits there and is like, this is awesome.
Hmm.
And sometimes it only takes one guy to be like, yeah, you did a really great job on this, to remind you of why you make things.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like what we do too, like sometimes it can be easy to get caught up in numbers and stats and to, try and maximize the amount of people who see the things that you make. Um but a lot of times it's, quality over quantity, which is better to have a lot of people that know you exist, or, a small amount of people that really are, really involved with what you make, And so that's one thing that I'm kind of trying to do with the Bracken Pack a little bit, is just have everybody be hyped up for each other and the things that they make and cheering each other on, you know,
Hmm.
in a way that's genuine, you know. I feel like going with I just saw T-Rab's comment there. If we
Yeah,
lived
yeah,
in
I bet
a
you
world
that.
where everything was automated, completely every job was automated, from art to labor, everything, there would still be people working. There'd still be people making art because they just feel this compulsion to do it.
Yep. Well, there's a good amount of soul in human art. There is the soul of human art, which I don't think you'll that will ever be able to replicate. You can make something look really good through AI arts, but to really get an artist's intention, their story that they want to weave through the illustrations and photos and wherever, that you see, there is something in human art that you just can't replicate through a machine, especially the process. There's something
Hmm.
special about the process sometimes. Um, and that could be, doesn't have to just be art, right? It could be music, it can be data pack creation, if you want to
Yeah.
do it that way.
Well,
Uh,
every time you make something, you leave a little bit of yourself in it. That's
Yeah,
just
Of course.
how it works. There's a lot you can find about the artist from the art. And I think that's just so cool.
that being said, I'm not a huge fan of AI art. However, it's fun, as long as you don't use it as a replacement. I think there's nothing wrong with like using AI art. It's just when you stop
When you
paying
stop
attention
using
to
real art.
artists.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you
Well, it's like
stop caring about the human soul in art. That's when it gets bad.
I think, and again, I'm a little bit of a hopeless optimist when it comes to technology. I keep thinking, okay, just think positive. Um, I hope it'll take the same path as like Photoshop and of digital art, where it didn't completely end the art world. If somebody just slaps a PNG on something, you can tell that that's not they're not really putting their soul into something,
Yeah.
unless it's an intentional meme or something funny like that. But with AI art, I think hopefully we'll see it being more
Ripping.
integrated, intermingled with other kind of art forms, and you can kind of see where the soul is, as Tux is putting it.
Of course.
Also, rest in peace to your items.
Yeah,
I saw that creeper blow
yeah.
up. That was tragic.
Oh man, I don't know what's going on with these torches. They're not working as torches should.
That is really weird, dude.
Oh shoot.
I wonder
Also,
if it's
there's this
a
weird
vanilla
glitch.
shader thing.
Oh yeah, maybe. There's a weird glitch that I'm getting for whatever reason that makes it so that the text that tells me that a meteor has entered the atmosphere, it just stays there.
Oh,
Yeah,
and you
Dude, you got
haven't
this
found a
big
way to
freaking
stop it,
hut.
or like,
yeah, no, this is the only time that it has ever done this. Every other time it stays there. Also, I need to fix the fact that it doesn't actually look like a meteor has entered the atmosphere.
it's
But yeah, the only
unfortunate.
fix that I've found is just literally cheating and clearing the title.
That's actually really unfortunate. Is this one of your packs or is this another pack?
No, that's my pack. It works fine normally, but then for whatever reason, I don't know what compatibility issue is starting this, but it just does that.
It's
Man,
probably with like Sanguine because they work off of an event system too, don't they?
Yeah, but the event system for the meteor, I am 99% sure is extremely unique because all of my like naming functions, I didn't like look at any other pack to see what to I like would be an appropriate thing to name them. So I think it's literally called like metronome.
Oh,
Oh, speaking of sanguine, blood moon.
yo,
One time it destroyed the front portion of my base. Incredible. Nothing like a meteor.
all right, Sky. Whenever you're ready, hit us with another juicy question.
Yeah, sorry. I have realized now that it is a blood moon, and I need to grab my phone to find my notes app. Oh yeah, Smith. Oh, Elbones, one of the people who
Yes.
worked on Sanguine, is now in chat. Uh, oh, and is exclaiming about the blood moon. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on Smith? And would you ever actually like put the Bracken pack on Smith? And for people in chat who don't know what Smith is, it is essentially like a mod pack loader from what I understand it, and it does help a lot with compatibility issues and stuff. Um, but yeah, it's essentially the goal of it is to be like a Curse Forge type mod pack loader, where you can put together your own data pack packs with ease.
I think.
So
Oh,
Grandmaster
okay. I'll
said
let
he's looked into it before. We might have talked about it once in a team meeting. Did we ever, Bracket? I don't remember.
I'm looking through my Discord. It looks like I joined their Discord a while back, but I think I I don't know if I'm what I'm listed as, if I'm a developer or listed as uh, just some guy who showed up, a normie.
Yeah, I don't think it would be that hard to follow the conventions that they have.
Oh shoot!
There was something with like entities, I think. According to Grandmaster, he's tried making the
Chat that
Bracken
might have
pack
just
to their
deleted all of my
standards,
stuff.
but I don't think we've ever actually. Do we need to formally submit it to their? I'm assuming that we need to formally submit it to their forum in order to get it accepted.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah. I'd imagine that is. One of the
We
main
probably need to
requirements.
do a quick look over, but yeah, I think that's something that we'll probably end up doing just because it's kind of nice to have the Bracken pack on something else that more people could see. I don't know. And also be able to follow conventions to be as compatible as possible because
Yeah,
I think
chat. All
Bracken
my stuff has
that's
gotten
really what we've
deleted.
tried to do in the past.
That's one of the things that I've been kind of pushing a little bit is I never really customized the world gen of the overworld or nether end um because I didn't want to step on the toes of other developers, and I wanted to make it as easily mergeable with other data packs as possible, just step on as few toes as possible. um
Mm.
and so making it compatible, that's right up my alley. That's something I want to do, so
Yeah,
again, going back to
we'll
that kind of
look
blank
into it.
canvas thing.
Yeah, of course.
Hey,
Sorry, Tuxxic,
Bracken,
were
do
you
you
saying something?
remember when the Bracken pack used the Minecraft namespace?
I have never been allowed to forget it.
Really?
Well, because
No,
I didn't know what
okay. Yeah,
I have.
keep in mind, Bracken had no idea what he was. This was like when it came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this
Like
is
this is
like
3 years
3 years
ago.
ago.
Yeah, okay.
But
So for people who aren't developers in chat, in a data pack, you generally will have at least two namespaces. These are the main folders that all of your data and like commands, everything is kept. And if you use the Minecraft namespace, then generally things will not work properly, and there will be a lot of overlap with other data packs because pretty much every data pack needs to use the Minecraft namespace. But if you use your own data namespace, then that is when like you are essentially adding more onto Minecraft rather
Yeah.
than replacing
yeah,
things in the game.
I had no idea until Starmute said something. He messaged me about this. He's like, "Listen, there's a lot of people who are, asking, how come I can't get this to work, and it's your fault. Please fix it." Like, I'm
Wait,
okay,
is it?
okay.
It was Starmute who?
Yes, it was.
Oh my
He,
gosh!
they mention it from time to time, but he's also
Uh,
mentioned how much of a developer that you've improved as. He's actually like
yeah, because I
really
I
proud of you.
started from zero on up because I have never taken a programming class. I think I took a class on MATLAB maybe in the past. But like I know nothing. All of this is from YouTube, just tutorials and
Oh
reading
my
page
gosh!
after page of, you know, log changes, and
Yeah.
I that's why Grandmaster is such an important addition to the team. Is like he has insights to the actual programming world about, how to do things the right way.
Yeah.
Like to this day I still can't get like execute commands to work in an efficient way. Like
Oh,
I'm
come
always doing
on.
GM is always getting ticked off at me because like I'll find the most inefficient way to execute a command, and like
Grandmaster about to spill the beans about the take that MC function.
Oh, I am a bit busy right now with
oh
with
yeah,
this stuff, but
yeah.
please
But
go
before
ahead.
before Grandmaster was on the team, I had every single function running through a single tick file. Yeah, so it was hysterical. He joins, and all of a sudden, just the game performance goes skyrocketing through the roof. Like instead of getting 3 frames per second, it's going great. And I'm like, wow, this is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I personally I know for a fact that the um the Evo pack is extremely unoptimized. Like it is. Oh gosh. I need to fix a lot of the stuff with it just because I don't even know why I haven't really looked up like any tutorials or anything, but a while ago, I was in a VC with the creator of the thing that's torturing me right now, Sanguine. I always pronounce it both ways because I don't know which is right. Um, and uh, they were like, "Oh yeah, I haven't really seen much of the Evo pack. Would you like to, send it over?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll send it over." I sent it over, and they said, "Ew." That was their first
Oh,
reaction.
ouch! That hurts.
Yeah. Needless to say, it is much more optimized now.
What a humbling experience that must have been.
Yeah, no, I already knew that it was bad. I just decided to send it over anyways.
Hey, sometimes you gotta learn the hard way, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
You gotta just.
Just like how I still haven't learned the hard way that I really should not take the meteors lightly. I have lost all of my stuff, and I already mentioned this to chat, but I was talking earlier about how the meteor warning was being weird, and the meteor came in, and it exploded every item I had on me.
No, I didn't even notice.
I
Yeah.
didn't either. And now it's a blood moon.
Yeah, no, it's been a blood moon. I was sitting up on that vine up there. I probably would have been able to dodge the meteor, but I was just
Oh, is that what
sitting
damaged
still
the
on
vine? The meteor did that?
Yeah, all that vine that was sitting on the ground, that was all from the meteor because it cut it off halfway through.
Oh man.
But yeah, oh wait, is that it? I think that is the meteor just kind of sitting there. It looks like it glitched out because uh, it was just, yeah, that is definitely glitched out because it was on the edge of the chunk border.
Your sanity is so low right now.
Oh yeah.
Are you talking IRL or in the game?
No,
In-game?
in the game. In the top left is my sanity bar. If it gets all the way down, then crazy crap starts happening. But here, let me really quick check my phone. Oh gosh. Yeah, alright, I guess I can die. That is the name of the channel after all.
You
Yeah,
have a
alright.
question in chat.
Oh? Bracken, how do you feel about the Bracken pack included in Spruced Vanilla? Says from the account Spruced Vanilla. That's who's saying this.
I'm excited. Again, like most of the time when people ask me, hey, can I put this in a personal data pack, or hey, can I make this a part of a YouTube video, or hey, I'm like 100% for it because I just want to maximize as many people who like enjoy and have fun with it as possible. Like I've told people before, you can copy this data pack and mash it up, paste and edit and do whatever you want with it as long as you're having fun with it. Like most of the
Yeah.
people who are like into data packs, they're really respectful. They don't just post like an outright copy of it, although I have seen copies of it online. But like at the same time, I don't really care because at least people are having fun with it. So it's like I don't have like a big thing where like, oh, I have to make it so it's only through me or only like as long as people are having fun with it, that's just cool. I really enjoy seeing that.
Yeah, I get
Hey,
that.
more
See,
eyes on the pack.
I was a little bit nervous when Spruce Vanilla first approached me because I have had people who like are very obviously trying to scam approach me and are like, "Hey, can I use your pack for stuff?" But yeah, Spruce Vanilla is definitely a cool cause in particular.
Yeah,
Have you ever had that experience, Bracken? I don't think you've been scammed yet.
like scam.
Right?
Well, I've had several people like say, hey, can I post like blah blah blah, this about the Bracken pack on so there's like a Chinese equivalent of like Google, I guess.
Oh,
And
that's
I
weird.
said, yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
It-
Because like here's the thing with the internet, people are gonna take it anyway.
That's a good
So
point.
you might as well just like go with it and just leave, a good feeling, I guess. I don't know. Like
Uh, Jakerson in chat says, "Hi, as a beginner data pack creator, do you guys have any tips that every dev should know?"
Don't give up because that's the hardest thing is starting out. Like, oh my goodness,
Mhm.
like, it's like you get to a certain point where like you have a hard time explaining what you know, and it's just like it's really deep with a lot of things. I guess the best tip would be like reverse engineering other people's data packs. Take someone else's data
Yes,
pack
absolutely.
and then like change things and then hop in game and see what changed.
Now, yeah,
And
that is actually how I learned to make data packs myself, was using the
Yep.
Bracken pack.
yeah,
And Elbones has both said, honestly, Vissy's EU isn't that bad of a rating as a co-developer. I've heard worse from them. And also, they have said to copy, steal, and do whatever you can.
wow. But that was another reason, Sky, why I was so totally okay with you copying and pasting and using anything for my data pack, is because I
Mhm.
know that I needed that. Like when I was working and developing stuff, I I would feel bad because I'd be like, oh my gosh, I am literally, you know, using this backbone of a program, and I'm tweaking it and tweaking this, and I'm using this from vanilla Minecraft, and I'm using this from so and so, and then like you paste it together, and then you learn, and you're like, okay, this is how it works. And then finally you get to the point where you can make things that are completely unique and original, and you're like, okay, now I know how it works, now I know how, you know and that's just part of the learning process. And
Mhm.
I just want everybody to feel as comfortable as possible with using my data pack to help them learn, because that's how you learn. You can't get from
Yeah,
point A to
absolutely.
point B without it.
Coming from
Uh,
me, oh,
I
got it.
was
Go
just
ahead.
about to read out what
Oh yeah, go
Grandmaster
ahead.
said, which is learn how to use the /execute command.
I just can't.
One thing for me, um, that I would say as a guy who doesn't really do a ton of like the actual, but I work a lot with Bracken and a lot of the other people. Organize, organize, organize. Know exactly like this is especially true with whether it's idea creation or even organizing the files inside your pack. The moment that you know where a portion of your code is the moment that you're able to sort of bug fix and find things quickly. So use GitHub, have a
GitHub
good
was a huge.
idea of where things, yeah, GitHub, like uh, GitHub desktop. We used that to push changes out to the pack. Um,
That was Grandmaster's idea. I was kind of against that at first because I like doing things, the status quo, the way that we've always done them. And he suggested that, and that, or was that Sulf who did that?
I think it was both of them.
Okay, because like I was kind of against it at first, but I'm eating my own words right now. Like,
Well, get out the Google Docs, the Drives, because the moment that you can really organize your thoughts together and have a clear vision of where you want to go, and this is true for I think any project, the moment that you have that vision and that you're able to nail down exactly what you want your thing to be, is the moment that the learning process and everything else is going to go a lot smoother.
and I guess this is one thing to always take away is just always have it be fun. Like the second
Yes.
something stops being fun, move on to a different project. Like in all honesty, because it's just, if it's not fun, then why do it? It's gotta give you the energy to keep on investing into it. And if you feel like, oh man, I'm just pushing myself through this, and I feel bad because I already have 20 half abandoned projects, that sometimes is still part of the learning process. And of course you don't give up on it when it's just a little bit of trouble, but at the same time, it's just, when it comes to making art should be fun.
Now, yeah, something that I will, contribute here is also never like just fully abandon a project. if there is still like a project where like you enjoyed making it at the time, but then like you're right at that final stretch, or like maybe you just want to add something to it and you suddenly just like that lose inspiration, because that can absolutely happen, and I've
Oh yeah,
actually had
you
that
get
happen
burned
to
out.
me this exact week. I've
Oh
had that happen to me, and like just make sure that you still like keep it open, keep
yeah,
that like, and sometimes it is just a case of like actually opening that project back up and being like, all right, I'm going to work on this today, and then you get back into it. Because if you just say, all right, I'm never going to work on this again, maybe even like delete it or just like stow it away deep in your hard drive, then you're never going to work on it, and it's always going to stay
yeah,
in that state in your mind of, oh, this is just like some abandoned project. I don't really like it.
yeah. Well, I
Oh
guess
my
I should
gosh.
kind of
Oh my
clarify
gosh.
too by like projects and things like I guess what I was thinking in mind was like different branches of like the Bracken pack and what I work on, because I've had Tux can attest to this. I've had structures that I've like abandoned halfway and didn't put in the game because I
Oh
just
yeah.
The
I
Underdark Trade Center.
yeah, I'll work on that eventually, like, but like instead of like abandoning an entire project, like you abandon one branch of the project and then you work on another branch, something that gets you more excited, and then maybe you jump back to that other branch. Because sometimes if you push yourself too hard on something and you get burnt out, your brain forever associates this task with an unpleasant feeling. Even when you're out of that burnt out stage, even when you're out of that tired mentality, it just still
Hmm.
feels bad working on it. So taking a break from it before you start to feel too bad about it makes it so that you're more likely to start up on that same project again, you know.
True.
Gotta hit us with
By the
another juicy
way,
question.
oh, yeah, sorry. By the way, if you're wondering what my very very manly yell that I made a couple of seconds ago, I got jump scared by a manic creature because I'm going insane.
Yeah, I saw that. Dude, you gotta sleep, man.
Yeah, yeah, probably. Oh yeah. So I personally, with the Evo pack, there's like a lot of potential that I think is there, and there's a lot of stuff that I want to make with it. And I personally have been thinking of like getting together some sort of team, some ragtag group of developers. Um, and this is honestly something that I could use myself. How did the Bracken Pack team form? Because I know of like a couple members who were just like sort of brought on, but was it all like that? Was there any
Oh.
point where like you specifically
So
seeked out someone?
so basically, it started with me just making a fun little project over, it was pandemic and I was
Hmm.
bored out of my skull and I wanted something to preoccupy myself. And so I'm working on this. And, a lot of people are liking it and enjoying it. And a few times people had said, you should really start a Discord. And I said, no, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I just want to work on this. I'm just going to be kind of a solo act on this one. And then Tux was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. He said, you
Yes.
should start a Discord. And I'm like, okay, I will. And we should team up, and I'm like, okay. And so Tux was kind of the guy that started it all with the Discord, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. Is
It
you
did.
have people saying, hey, I can contribute XYZ, can I join? Or hey, I noticed you have a problem with XYZ in the data pack. I have a solution. Can I help out? And it just kind of snowballed there. You
Hmm.
basically to make a team, you just make something that people like and want to be a part of, and it just kind of naturally progresses from there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I was the original team member that first joined a long time ago. Actually, I think, Bracken, I think you considered it a lot more because I was going on the team specifically to help build lore.
Hey,
I'm having a
Tuxxic,
hard time hearing you.
something's going on with your mic.
Oh, shoot. Uh, is that any better?
A little bit.
Yeah, it seems like it's back to normal now.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I think I was facing away. I was deep in thought.
Uh,
Trying to reminisce on the I joined the team 3 years ago. That
Yeah.
was the original. I think it was like October or something like that.
Yep. Yep. It was
It's really
October.
kind of a funny story. I was looking for a pack specifically for multiplayer, and the thing that I
Mhm.
was looking for was a mining dimension. And
Ah,
so I was on Planet Minecraft, just going through some world generation data packs, and there was a couple of things, and they were cool, and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty neat." And then in the, I think, related section on the side of Planet Minecraft, I saw the Bracken pack, and I was like, "Wait a minute! You're telling me this pack not only adds basically a mining dimension, but also 11 other dimensions or 10 other dimensions? Whoa!" But I added it to a world,
the
and I
magic
was
sparkles
flying
formed around your
through.
eyes.
Yeah. Basically, I added it to a world, and I was flying through a bunch of the different dimensions, and I was like, "Well, hold on a minute. This is really cool. Like, this is way more than I ever thought it would." And I was like, I wonder if there's like if this guy has a story behind these dimensions.
Mm,
And so I reached out. I just reached out because he had, like Bracken said, he had a really cool premise that got me immediately interested. Um, and I said, "Hey, if you, I don't know if you do this, but if you wanted to help build the lore out, I would love to help you do that, and we could have some fun building some idea. I've got a bunch of ideas for it." And Bracken was like, "Sure thing." He sent me a Discord link and in the Planet Minecraft direct messages, and yeah, I mean, ever since then, I've helped out in any way that I could, as much as I possibly can. We built out a lot of the universe together. Although, at the end of the day, Bracken is going to be he is a project lead, and there's going to be a lot of things that
he is the
I'm not always kept
mastermind.
up on. Yeah, he's the mastermind. But yeah, I think having that niche originally, I mean, if I was not looking for a mining dimension for my pack, I would have never found the Bracken pack, and who knows what the heck would have happened with the way that it developed. I mean, it was a COVID project for you originally, correct, Bracken?
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna pretty
Um,
much stop working at it after the pandemic ended. I was gonna stop, and
I
then
mean, theoretically,
yeah.
I got like not only just a bunch of channel growth, but also making data packs is like pretty much my main hobby. Outside of just the mainstay of making YouTube videos. But yeah, that I probably wouldn't have actually gotten that spark for making things. I would have just moved on if I hadn't looked a bit more into the Bracken pack.
Cool.
Oh, that's
That's cool.
crazy, dude. Bracken, do you see the chat with Yon? See the message
Uh.
that so your
Oh
space
Oh,
wow.
race video?
whoa, the space race.
Oh my gosh.
Why don't you talk about
Oh
the
man.
space race real quick?
Yeah, I don't have too much information on this. I did look into it like a year ago or something.
So
Uh,
like, oh man, this was like back before college. I think like even before like around starting high school ish. I wanted to make a YouTube channel, and so I tried to make this sci-fi series. It's really cringy. Um, where it's this guy who is like on a space station, and like nothing about it. He's just like all alone on the space station, and every time he dies, he gets like cloned, and he wakes up in this tube in the space station, and he just goes about his day. And so that was kind of the premise and what it started with, and you add more sci-fi elements to it, and
that just
we
sounds
made
like a
like,
Rick and Morty clone. What is it?
oh
Premise.
no, this is before I knew what that was. Like, okay, like this is just like the origins thing. Like, I didn't know the origins
Yeah,
uh existed when I made the Bracken Pack species. If I did know it existed, I wouldn't have added those in there because like I feel like it's a little too redundant. Like
yeah.
Origins does what I do, but it's like a lot better. So like, but yeah, it's weird how sometimes you'll think of an idea and then that'll just become kind of like a thing that a lot of other people have thought the same idea about,
Mhm.
But and of course I think I made like 3 videos and then I decided to kind of give up on it. I think I still have them up on my YouTube, but yeah,
Well,
very cringy, very
it seemed like that was the origins of you messing with commands, though, because I remember in your
yeah.
space race videos, you had like custom, like, were they races? I don't remember what they were, but
I think I had something like that. Um, again, so we had this race of people called the Ascendants, and they're basically like space deities. They're kind of like the Q from Star Trek, and they can like do anything. Only it's like more specific, like depending on what one person might be able to manipulate time, one person might be able to manipulate space or matter or energy or something like that. And that was kind of the whole premise of it.
I have no idea where I am.
And so we had different powers set up with some of the commands. But again, this was before I knew what data packs were. So everything was powered by command blocks. Everything.
Oh.
Chains and chains. We'd have these massive rooms of command
Oh
blocks.
man.
And I'd use
I
the
mean
set
that.
world spawn command to make it so that they'd never be unloaded or in an unloaded area. So like if you didn't walk too far away from them, they'd stop
Oh.
working or something.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was yeah.
Yeah.
it's a cool
So
map.
have you guys heard of Avid MC?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Tuxxic, where have you heard of him from? Just out of
I believe
curiosity.
I heard him from Pro Gamebot's Discord channel
Oh yeah, yeah.
because
Yeah.
I
No.
was on the development team for that dimension
Right.
pack that
Yeah, yeah. Etheria. It's Ethera,
yeah, it's
right?
like Ethra.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, Avid is a friend of mine. He's actually the creator of that YouTube Discord that I was talking about earlier. And his channel is almost entirely just like, command creations like that, where everything is run by command blocks, and it does essentially what a data pack would do, but it's all command block stuff. Cat Comics in chat has said, "Oh boy, comma Avid."
Oh yeah, there's a fun bit of Bracken pack trivia for you.
Oh.
Grandmaster, when he joined the team, um, he had when he joined the team, he had literally zero knowledge and just reverse engineered everything um, to make it so that he could like learn data packs. So
I
Oh
was I
he
was
yeah.
awestruck by it, like
yeah,
yeah.
he like learned it on the fly, um, which was pretty crazy. So anyone who thinks that they can't do data packs, dude, Grandmaster, he learned it in like a month, and you can too. You can too.
And again, it all goes back to fun. Like if you're having fun with something, you'll move heaven and earth just to make it possible. That's just kind of.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that space world that takes me back quite a bit. That
You got another
the
juicy
space.
question for us?
Yeah, so on Ethera actually, this is just one that I thought up on
Hey.
the fly, my classic interviewer skill here. I've done so many interviews. Uh what was the thought process behind joining Ethera, and instead of working on the Bracken pack, just entirely changing what the current project that you guys were working on? Was it just to help the guy out, or was it, obviously the commission had to have been a part of it? What was the
Grandmaster immediately says money.
Yeah, okay.
Money. um again, like if you think about the amount of hours that we put into that totally didn't make up for the money, but again, it's for the fun factor. That's kind of,
Yeah.
you know, um but and I was a little on the fence about it because I thought I was mostly worried if this would take away time from the Bracken pack and I would,
Mm.
if that development would suffer. And it did, but just a tiny bit. Again, it was mostly for fun and meeting new people that I hadn't really interacted with before, although there was a few familiar names. Um,
I mean, I feel like there's a
and
lot of familiar names. I looked at
yeah.
I looked at the list for the Ethero development team, and I was like, oh, this is just this is just
Oh yeah.
the the BP 12th
Seems familiar.
dimension.
uh, um, but it was really nice because like again I got to just I really liked how well rounded everything was because I got to do what I like doing the most, which was world gen. I didn't have to worry about developing items or mob generation or anything like that. I could just work on world gen, and I worked on
Oh
it and
yeah.
I got it done, and it was really satisfying to just have a project that was done and completed, and then you just rely on other people to do the rest, and it was fun, and we got it done, and it was really satisfying.
Yeah, no, I feel like we are absolute opposites there because I hate World Gen so much. I mean,
World
It's
gen
very
is my
complicated.
forte.
it's fun
That's
to occasionally tweak a number and then be like, oh, well, the entire world has changed, or tweak a number and then see, oh, the entire world has broken.
yeah.
But like I don't know, I haven't been into World Gen for like a while. I've done the structures. I'm sure you guys have seen, like, I've been doing a bunch of structure stuff for the Evo
Mhm.
pack recently, but I have
Structures are fun.
yeah, I've at least for now entirely stopped doing like custom dimensions because although it is really cool to make a massive cave dimension like this, it's just like not something that I am proficient enough at.
It's like kind of like the final frontier where it comes to like programming, I guess, because there is
Yeah.
just so much to learn and you're always learning it. It's like the most infinite,
Dude, it is crazy.
potential kind of.
I'm in the Discord server for what is it, Minecraft configs,
Mhm.
which is it's entirely world gen, and
Yeah,
they were talking like so much mathematics and stuff a few weeks
I
ago, and
know.
they were
Yeah.
saying it
Yep.
like it was stuff that they are all like the maximum of like expert. They are
I
like
know.
the people who know everything about it, and they were talking about it like this was new technology that they were just discovering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was like when they first came out with splines. I'm like, what the heck is a spline?
Yeah, that's what they were
Like,
talking about. Like they were mathematically calculating what a spline was in terms
uh,
of the freaking
Yep.
world
it's
gen
Yeah.
Minecraft.
like I
Guy,
I
you
finished
still
World
gotta
don't
eat
3.
know.
something in game, man. You
I
gotta eat something in game. You have 2 hunger bars, man. Eat something.
I
like
don't have
I got
anything to eat.
Why did you go down to the Underdark with no food?
I originally had a lighter. I was planning on killing a mushroom.
um
I lost my
man.
lighter because it just disappeared. I think I might have accidentally thrown it
If
as
you
at a
break
creeper
those
as it
bone blocks, if you
as
break those bone
freaking.
blocks, you can get some bone meal. Next time you go to a mushroom biome, you can, grow some mushrooms or something.
I can just break
Yes,
down the
make so much.
pre-existing mushrooms that are there.
Well, no, because do
Oh,
you have any wood
he's
blocks?
dead. He's gone.
No, I don't have any wood blocks.
So
I'll
so
be
use
fine.
that bone meal on some of the nether sprouts or whatever, and you can turn that into a crimson free whatever
Oh,
thing.
that's smart. Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Are
Or I
you,
could just
do we
eat the
have it
magma
as
cream
where
that
every
that drops.
dimension is livable in? I thought we did.
That's the
Right.
direction I'm trying to go for it. I think there's a few
Hmm.
like the Omnidrome you can't survive in.
Well, hey,
Can you
that might
survive
But
change
in
soon.
performance?
Whoa, hint, hint.
yep.
Boom, boom.
Wait, what
Boopy,
was
boopy,
that?
boopy.
Yeah, we're working on an Omnidrome update.
Oh,
That's
that's
our
cool.
next big thing.
There's wood in the
Oh,
twice abandoned mine shaft. That's true.
yep.
Also, Cat Comics has said, can we talk about Ithra's magic system? Magic system for a brief moment, which
I
I don't
like
know
know
if
nothing about that
yeah
because I had purposely um when I was working on the world gen, it was kind of my work was like front loaded. So I'm kind of like the first guy they ask to work on stuff. But then after my job is done, I don't really have a lot to do.
mm,
So I
I
was
think
purposely keeping myself in the dark so that I could play through the game and like kind of have a vanilla experience to it.
I
So
believe Grandmaster and Catacomics both worked on those. I think I was pretty. My job in the development of Ithra was pretty small. Okay, I was mostly Catacomics. Uh, I worked on the wiki a little bit, and I worked on the logo that you see for Ithra in the trailer and on the homepage, and that's pretty much all I did. I wasn't getting paid for anything. I just wanted to work on it because Bracken and Grandmaster were there, and FOMO. But yeah, I don't really know too much about the actual intricacies of the magic system.
I know Trog
Right.
did a lot of the crafting system, right? Or they did
Yes,
the
he
entire
did.
crafting system.
Yes. So
Oh, but by the way, hello Yokaiza Gaming in chat. How's it going? We were just talking about your lore and stuff earlier. When we were
yes,
talking about
we're all
the
very
BP
we're
lore.
all very proud of you. Keep up the good work.
You did okay. Cat Comics did every relic that uses the divine power system thing. Huh. I have no
You're a
idea.
goner. You're a goner, Sky. You're a goner.
Thank you, Dan.
It's so
You've saved me.
Oh yeah, you have returning tides. Don't you have that?
Yeah, I entirely forgot that I had
Hey,
returning tides.
Grandmaster. That's Grandmaster's baby right there. The returning
Yeah,
tides and the
that was another
Magnificent Mansion.
that was another idea from Grandmasters, their returning tides book.
How is that pulled off, by the way? Because don't you need it to be loaded?
I don't know. He's a genius. I don't know how he did it. The reason why I don't start
Don't you
projects
have
like that is
access
because
to
I
the
know I won't
code?
be able
Why
to
didn't
finish
you
them or
just?
make them possible. He takes impossible things and makes them possible. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He force loads a chunk. He says. We try
Now
our best
how?
to we try our best to use force loaded chunks as little as possible because it can get pretty laggy if you have a bunch of them spawned in. I guess if you had a multiplayer server with like 50 people and they all used returning tides, it would probably be not great, but generally speaking, we make sure to use force loaded chunks. As I think returning tides and the Magnificent Mansion book are the only two that do that. I maybe the I'm not.
um,
Does the Omnidrome
there's
spawn
a few
platform?
with transitions, like the Omnidrome spawn platform, um, the Dormus spawn platform. That one I built, but I basically copy and pasted and reverse engineered the Omnidrome spawn platform to develop
Yes.
it. I was like, okay,
Yep.
I don't know how this magic works, but I'm going to just follow the incantation and just do exactly what Grandmaster did, and then hopefully recreate it, and it worked. And so I'm like, okay, cool. You know,
I'm gonna
to me, it
use
was just
custom
like
armor.
figuring out a magic system. Like for him, it's
I'll be right back.
science. You know.
Yeah, Yokaiza has asked in chat. What is the pipeline? Because they have also
Okay.
asked, does Grandmaster do a lot of the final touches / optimizations?
Oh
Yeah,
gosh,
he,
dang it,
like-
Yokaiza, you gotta add
so-
that question. I'll wait to look at use the bathroom.
So, what it kind of goes with is a lot of the stuff that we do is just very go with the flow. Like I can, Tux can probably attest to this, that I'll just pick up random projects without telling
Yep.
people. I'll just be like, I feel like working on this today. And, but sometimes Tux is really good at kind of getting us to be focused and to be like, okay, let's make an update about the Omnidrome. Let's make an update about the brine. And we'll just kind of center that and just have that be our theme.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again,
sorry to interrupt here, but I specifically remember when the sorry, I'm probably going to mispronounce it. I'm horrible at pronouncing things. Panacea, the Panacea
Yep, that's
update.
right.
Yeah, okay. Tux was really excited about that one.
Yes.
When that was first being worked on.
By the way,
that took me forever
still
to the
props
world.
to props to Bracken for all of the really crazy, awesome biomes in Panacea. Now, one of the most diverse dimensions there is. Oh,
That took me
yeah.
forever.
Yon asked a question here. What is the dimension next after Omnidrome? I don't think we have any plans. I think maybe Dormus? Maybe.
I think Dormus might be next.
Yeah, but
and again, this is still kind of up in the air. But with Dormus, okay, so every dimension has to have some kind of appeal to a certain demographic of Minecraft player. That's what we're going for. If you want to mine you go to the Underdark. If you're more, you know, like you like enchanting, you go to the Feywild. You know, that's kind of what we're trying to do. And so Dormus is going to be kind of for players that want to play on hard mode, and it's going to have a lot of things that are against you and make your life difficult, and it's going to be a challenge to break out of Dormus, and that's kind of the theme that we're basing it around, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. We need to re-add the box structure.
Yeah, we do.
That's been
one thing
in development hell for a long time.
One thing I really want to do is make it so that Dormus is kind of like a junkyard dimension, where you can find every single item from the most mundane to OP in Dormus.
Okay.
It's just the more OP items will be super, super rare, and you gotta, you know, go through a ton of crap to get to the right one.
Yeah,
You know?
that's interesting. So it'll be like, I'm guessing, like loot tables of a chest. Like you just have to go to like different structures over and over and over, and then one time you find the like, what is it, the null sword or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
You know, like
I
where
don't know enough
maybe
custom
we'll
items.
keep out like the super epic boss drops or something, but
Yeah.
like I kind of want it to give it that Minecraft Hunger Games feel, where you open up a chest and you don't know what you're gonna get, and you get a fishing pole, but you have to use that to defend yourself against enemies, and you know, just like, you know, things like that. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I'm gonna use
Also,
a bathroom right now. I'll be right back.
okay. Also, Jackerson and chat, this is less pertaining to the Bracken pack, and I know that this has already been answered by Cat Comics, but what method do you guys use for right-click detection? I know this one. It's both warped fungus on a sticks and carrot on a sticks. You
Yep.
set up a scoreboard to detect whenever one has been like right-clicked, and then yeah, from there you just check what the player is holding.
Yeah. That was another one of Grandmaster's ideas, because I had been for the longest time trying to make it so that this wouldn't be resource pack dependent. I wanted to make it so that
Oh,
if
really?
someone didn't want to put the resource pack on, it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Hmm.
But just carrot on the stick, it offers way too many benefits, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
let's do it. Let's take the leap, and you know, if someone doesn't have the resource pack, it's going to look like an ugly carrot on a stick, but there's nothing better we can do. You know, we got to do it this way.
Yeah. It's so funny, real technical stuff that so funny, real technical stuff that is now made redundant with 1.20.2 adding macros. So my thing for teleporting to saved coords with a marker is really cool and funny. I'm guessing that is sarcastic. I don't really know how macros work. Bracken, do you have any
I
knowledge
don't
on
either.
that?
I've been trying to do some research, but I'm at that stage where I don't even know what questions to ask.
Mm.
Like, like I don't even know what I don't even know.
Yoan, yes, I think knowledge books do work for right clicking too, but the thing is that so many data packs use knowledge books for crafting recipes. And so every time that you would craft a custom recipe like any of these that I'm showing on screen now, that knowledge book would be destroyed. Which I think is how the magic books were originally, right?
Yep, that is how they were originally. I liked them because they were consumable items.
Yeah.
And then we had a huge debate, multi-month long debate about whether or not knowledge books should be, or whether or not this book system should be consumable or reusable.
Mm.
And then, what we ended up going with is that it should be reusable.
I think we upped the XP rates globally on like all of them, and then made them like endless.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or something like that.
Like, especially for things like Fireball. Like, you know, you make one little piddly gas
Yeah,
fireball and then
yeah.
the book disappears, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, or like I know that this one was only recently added, but the mansion where, like, imagine if you could only make one portal to the mansion and then it's gone and you can't make another one and you can't move that portal or anything.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Well, one thing I do want to ask, how the frick does the mansion work? How-
That's another Grandmaster question.
Oh my, black magic. Freaking black magic.
Like, we had a lot of development on that one where, like, I think we all went on a server together to test it out, and there was like a few kinks here and there, but Grandmaster made it work. Like that was his baby project. He raised that thing up, and it's now a fully functioning member of society. You know, it's
Man.
like
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
apparently it's so complicated he just cannot explain it in chat. It's just that complicated. There's a lot going on, and that's probably the most complicated spell there is.
Yeah.
I've realized that I'm amidst a problem.
Oh, you silly goose!
Oh
Why the
wait,
heck
no,
are you
I'm
on half
stupid.
a heart?
I'm stupid. I can just shift.
Yes, the classic Feywild
Yeah, there.
experience right there.
I get fall damage immunity. Yeah, I know. Come
Oh, thank goodness you're not going to be on a freaking half a heart anymore.
on. Yeah, this is pretty much my only food source right now.
You need to get a farm going.
Yeah, no, I plan on getting a golden apple farm, and that actually brings me
You're gonna run out of
to one of my
XP pretty
next
soon.
questions. Why is the golden apples, why is that still a thing? How has that not been removed yet? Because it just seems like so overpowered.
Are you
The
talking
golden
about the
apple tree.
enchanted apples?
Not the enchanted apples. I understand the enchanted apples. I just mean like the golden apple spawners.
Oh, those I did nerf them. Now there's only 2 of them, and they like so the items also decay after a bit.
Okay,
So I made
yes,
them so
but
they
like
decay
you can
faster.
still pick them up with hoppers.
Oh yeah, but
So
I think also you got to be within 15 blocks of the spawners for them to work.
yeah, but like that's still one AFK session away from just getting infinite.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess I just really like it. It's sometimes I like to go with the rule of cool more than the rule of practical. I know that can be that can get me in trouble sometimes.
Fair
But
enough. Oh, by the way, I think another problem that I sort of have with it is the lack of rarity for the twisted tree. I don't know if I just got
I just okay.
crazy lucky.
I saw was it just a few days ago? I saw your stream,
Yeah,
and you were in Panacea, and there was like you took a screenshot where there were several of the
yeah.
trees
I
together.
forgot to send that screenshot
So
to you. I was planning on
it
it,
is
but
on the
yeah.
GitHub, but it is not currently on the Minecraft version.
Okay,
But I did nerf it. I nerfed that as
okay.
well as the PAX portal gate. So
Yeah, because that is definitely something that needs to be fixed if that was not going to be fixed. Because oh my gosh, that definitely needs a bit more spacing and separation there.
yeah. Well, I could show you something too. I'll maybe post this in our Discord chat.
Oh,
But I've been working on something, and
I don't think this is
okay.
something
Is
that
this
is.
something that I can show on stream?
yeah, go ahead.
All right.
This is something that currently only my Patreon members know about. So
By the way,
we've been
chat in the top right of your screen, you will see the advertisement for Patreon. What is that? Oh my gosh!
uh-huh.
Whoa! All
It's a
right,
funny little guy, a
Yep.
little goober.
little
Yep.
goober. All right.
So we're gonna add him. He's gonna be in PAX.
That is so cool. Is that just going to be like a natural mob, or is it going to have like a structure, or what's going to go on there?
It's gonna be like those invisible vindicators in Sanctum.
Yeah.
So they will spawn frequently enough, maybe not too frequently in packs, but if
Huh.
you manage to kill them all, they won't respawn.
Man. Look at this guy.
Got a little. He's gonna do a little song or two.
He's gonna do a little
serenade.
song.
I wasn't able to add any music to him yet, but he's gonna like maybe hum or something, or
Oh man. What about the weakness? Wait, the weakness of what?
yeah.
Packs,
So in
probably.
packs is the
Yeah, the
anti-PvP
weakness.
so it's gonna
Yeah,
be really
good
hard
point.
to kill this guy. I also gave him regeneration, so he's even harder to kill.
Oh. Wait, no, that is so impossible.
Exactly. You're not supposed to kill
Oh
him. He's just
man.
gonna be a fun little dude. This is
All right.
Violence
How
is
are you
not
gonna get
allowed
the
in packs.
key around his neck though?
that. Yeah, there's a key. That's
Mm.
interesting. Now that you know
That
now that you
is a bit
mentioned that.
interesting. It's a bit
I wonder
interesting.
what key that is. You know.
That's the Dormus key, if my
Oh,
memory serves
What?
correct.
Hey,
funny.
yeah. What are these
So,
accusations of development that you're
so
going
It,
on? Hmm?
what you're
if
saying is you can get to Dormus by being a violent person. You know.
Well, you
oh,
see,
I get it.
this is the little tiny details that Bracken puts in that, like, if you pay attention enough, if you just pay attention and you think about it, it makes a lot of sense.
I'm also a big kind of like history buff, and like I like throw in some little things here and there, like
Yeah.
the biome names in Dormus like all have a theme that I went with. Just like kind of interesting, tidbits here and there.
By the way, the Yoan has brought up when the Sanctum Hand had 9 netherite blocks.
uh,
Oh yeah.
uh,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
So
See,
yeah,
yeah,
Grandmaster.
I
the
haven't gotten
rule of
there in
cool
this
gets me in
playthrough.
trouble so much. Like,
I haven't gotten there in this playthrough. I have brought up though that the Sanctum is good for netherite because there you can
yeah.
Yeah.
occasionally find a bit of ancient debris in some of the structures there. But yeah, it used to be that you could find 9 netherite blocks in a single structure, which isn't that rare if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no, that was bad. I didn't even notice. I thought I had like taken it back, but I didn't. So it was like it wasn't
I
until someone
think
pointed that out. Yeah.
Grandmaster had to go through the loot tables of like Sanctum at least 4 times.
Oh
Nerfing
my
it.
gosh.
Because here's the thing. I might be, a developer and, programming and doing all this stuff, but I stink at actually playing the game of Minecraft. I'm always dying all the time. I have
Yeah,
terrible
no,
resource
I
management.
am also horrible at playing Minecraft. That's where my channel
So
name came
I
from.
I always balance things according to how I would like to see them in the game. And
Mm,
seeing a bunch of netherite blocks, easily available for me, that's not really too balanced in terms of a server with actual capable players, but for me it's great.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's funny.
Hey, just remember, if there's something unbalanced in the Bracken pack, just think what Bracken said. The rule of cool, okay? He was thinking how
Yep.
cool it was
True.
over the practicality and balance of the said thing. But it's okay. That's why we have Grandmaster to help us.
Yeah, to
Apparently,
kind
he
of rein
wants
us
to
in a little
update the
bit,
Sanctum loot tables again.
bring us back to
Grandmaster
reality,
keeps keeps the pack humble. It keeps it down.
Yeah.
He's a back to reality
Oh, there goes
kind of
gravity.
guy.
Cat Comics, are you trying to get a job? They have asked in chat, do you guys want an experienced PvE guy?
I mean, that might
Who
be
knows?
is like, weren't you the guy? I think, yeah. You were the one who showed me. Like, okay, so recently, well, relatively recently, I got into customizing items to make custom mobs. Like, if you've noticed that picture of that
Yeah,
minotaur looking guy, that's a custom item. It's actually a piece of bamboo that through the resource pack has been changed.
right.
I think, Kat, you were the guy who showed me how to do that in the first place, right? Yeah, you were. I remember teaming up with you in Ethra, and I think you had a personal project that you showed me, and then like I was so enthralled with your data pack. Was that the one that was like based on Persona, I think? I think that was
I'll
that
be
was the
honest, the
one.
only way that I know Persona, I have a friend who is absolutely into that series and keeps on trying to get me to play it on stream.
I've never played it either, but yeah. Okay, yes. So, yeah, you had showed me how you and like you had made these models and I was so impressed with how you did them. I was like, you've got to teach me how to do this and now I can do it. Yep.
I definitely want to get into custom mob generation, not even
It is
generation,
really
mob
fun.
summoning. Yeah,
Like
Well, I think
because
Dan.
there's
I mean,
obviously a lot of limitations that with data packs, but
of
what you
course.
can get away with is fun.
Yeah, like I've talked about this a lot on stream before, but like a big sort of end game that I want with the Evo pack is for it to be like a mod pack. Like you load the Evo pack into your world, and it is the same experience as like going on Curse Forge and like loading. Maybe not. The first example that I thought of was RL Craft, which might not be perfectly accurate to what data
Yeah.
packs can do, but
Yeah.
just that experience of just it is completely different from what you would expect from regular Minecraft. So what is like a sort of end game that you have with the Bracken pack? Like what are some of like the main goals that you want to get done?
So, one thing I want to do is I try and make things like a little bit server centric, kind of like okay.
Hmm.
Um, one thing I've noticed with servers is you always have people arguing, people getting in fights because one person wanted to have PvP and the other person just wanted to make a farm and they now are mad because their farm got griefed or whatever. So this is a little bit of social engineering where you make different dimensions. You have a dimension where PvP is disabled, and so the people who
Ah,
want to make their farm, they go there, and the people who want a PvP, they don't go there because it would be really lame having PvP in a dimension where everybody has weakness. And so by doing this, you can kind of split players up a little bit and get it so that everybody can do something that they have fun doing. You know, if you meet someone in packs, obviously they're not going to be real interested in PvP, and you can kind of communicate better that way.
yeah.
Um, and so the object is to like if you had a server where people were locked into a dimension and they had to survive in that dimension. So first off,
Ah,
I got to
yes.
make it so that every dimension is survivable, like with no items, you can be able to survive in it, and has enough game content where you feel like you could play this for hours without getting bored or feeling like there's something missing. That's kind of where I'm going for it. Um, and maybe having like server settings where like say you have a server where once a week the doors unlock and you can travel in between dimensions, but then after that day ends then you're locked into whatever dimension you were in. Things like that, fun things like that. That might be kind of the direction I'm going.
Yeah, as well as for me, in addition to that, I'm when I create ideas, I'm thinking about the theme that Bracken is going for each dimension, and specifically the play style.
Mhm.
Because the way that a lot of the pack works is each dimension is centered around a certain play style uh, for a particular person's interest. For an example, Bracken, is it okay if I spoil a little bit of like the ideas that we have planned for the Omnidrome update?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so for an example, in the Omnidrome, one of the ideas that we want to do for a future updates is right now the you can fly in survival in
Hmm.
the Omnidrome. The problem is it's really buggy, especially on servers. I think we're sponsored by Bisect Hosting, and I think on the Bisect server that we had at one point, um, flying, which is what happened with flying? I think it like instantly
it would
killed you
it
or
would
something
keep
like that.
teleporting you down to the ground. Like even if you had like no fly hacks, anti-hack
Oh,
things
geez.
disabled, it still wouldn't let you fly. And so it was kind of a pain to deal with. And so we're like, okay, if we can make something a little bit better. I had
Yes.
based the Omnidrome after kind of like a Limbo from D&D, where if you have a character who's smart enough, they can like harness the powers of that dimension and start being able to
Okay.
warp reality and stuff. And so that's something I kind of wanted to go with. So we're going to add a bunch of like trigger commands for players in survival mode to like do things from like whether it be flying or teleporting or summoning lightning. We're still kind of working that out, but that's kind of the direction we're going.
That's
um
cool.
the main theme of Omnidrome I want it to be is catered to like redstone engineer type players who
Ah.
they like automating things. They like kind of, they're not really too big on just the survival aspect but just kind of want to make stuff.
Well,
Or
I
just
mean,
Like building.
as somebody who not currently, but was a big person, like big into like automating and making farms and stuff. I feel like to do that and to pertain to that audience of just like making stuff. Um, I I I think that an Omnidrone update where like you can add more animals or something would be
yeah.
good there.
Yeah, we do need a lot more mobs. And speaking of which, Kat, if you want to join our dev team, go ahead. Like, I had fun working with you before, so yeah, totally. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
feel free. Like, that's one thing I'm worried about is that like people who want to join the dev team are afraid to ask because like I'm that same way where like you see a lot of people having fun and you're like, oh man, I don't want to, ask if I'm gonna intrude or something like that. Like, but don't feel bad. Go ahead and I I think we'll have fun.
Honestly, this is almost a bit embarrassing to admit. I forgot that I did this, but the actual first project, the first data pack project that I worked on, it wasn't the Abyss, which is generally what I think of as my first project. It was actually an advancement pack for the Bracken pack that. Oh no! No! Oh gosh.
What happened?
My parking lot got destroyed.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Luckily, it wasn't directly on
He
the
got hit by a
McDonald's,
meteor.
but yeah,
Oh,
not my stuff didn't get destroyed this time. But yeah, no, I made an advancement pack for the Bracken pack that was like it explained where you would find
Oh, I
each of the
remember that.
books. Yeah, it would explain where you'd find each of the books, and I like had
Yeah,
everything listed out. Um,
that was really cool,
and
actually.
yeah, the one of the reasons why I did that was because I like the Bracken pack, and I'm not just saying like that the Bracken pack is really good because you guys are here, like just because I'm using it. Like the Bracken pack is genuinely something that absolutely inspired me to make my own stuff. And the biggest reason why I did that at the time was because I wanted to join the Bracken pack team. And I was just being
oh.
like, it's trying to make subtle hints of like, oh, hey, this is something
Well,
that
I
I really
mean,
like.
offer's still there if you ever want to join. You're totally cool to do so.
If I get more free time, outside of the Evo pack and YouTube and stuff, I'd absolutely
Yeah,
love to
totally.
join. But
Yeah, well, totally. Like, yeah, I'm not. You
sorry,
know me.
I feel like now I feel like I'm putting you a bit on the spot here. But
No, oh
uh,
my gosh, you're good, dude. Like, no, and that's the thing too is like one of the kind of things we go with communicating with each other on what we develop is that we don't have deadlines. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
that's nice for me because I'm real bad with deadlines. Just ask anybody who's seen how long it took me to get the Panacea update done.
yeah,
Um, but you know, it's it goes both ways. I'm not going to expect anybody else to hold to a deadline either.
of course.
So if somebody joins and they don't do anything for months at a time, I don't mind. It's like you're good. So, but
Um,
yeah.
Well,
but earlier Yokaiza said this, and I didn't really get a free chance to say it, but they said that they also are very bad, or not very bad. They said mediocre at regular Minecraft, and they just want to make lore and stuff.
Yeah.
And
dude,
reading between the lines, they didn't exactly say this, but I'm assuming
I
that that's one of the attractors for them to the Bracken pack.
What was that one quote from Thanos? I lead others to a treasure I cannot possess. Like, or it was a quote from the Red Skull. That's
Yeah,
what it was.
yeah.
That's how I feel.
yeah, I think I've beat the Ender Dragon like once.
Yeah, same. Like,
um, I approach the pack in a way that I'm here to have fun along with. I think being part of the pack, or part of the dev team, I think I can say for everyone that we've all had a lot of fun. And if you ever get a group of friends, for anyone who's watching, um, and you want to just make something cool, dude, just do it, man. It's
yeah,
so
Hmm.
fun. We've had so much fun together as a dev team, just coming up with crazy ideas or laughing on, team meetings or just talking. Sometimes there's a
yeah.
lot of team meetings that we do where we are completely off track, but we're having fun just chatting. And so my advice to all of you who are interested in getting in, it doesn't have to be a data pack, right? But it could be a project of whatever. Get yourself a team, talk about it, and just make things because
Hmm.
creation is just so much fun. It's so much fun.
And it is like in a lot of ways, it's hard to explain, but we love. It's like it's almost hardwired into our brain. We just love to make things, you
Yeah.
know. And we all make different things, but it's therapeutic in a way. But yeah, what was some of the other questions I saw that like I felt like I
Yeah, I feel like I
There was
did
one
see
by
a
Dan.
few.
I saw Dan asked a lore question. I think that Bracken can answer.
okay,
Let's see if I can find it.
here? Gotta scroll up.
Here it is. Are there any lore implications of Elder Guardians spawning in the water in Hebronium and Dormus?
Okay, the lore behind that is that I forgot that I put that there.
That is the best
Um,
kind of lore.
there was a lot of placeholder mobs that I had like in the early days of the Bracken pack because I would do things like sometimes you make Endermen spawn in a dimension, but they're spawning way too frequently. So then I'd include these other junk mobs to kind of like slow it down, I guess. I thought that would help. And yeah, some of those relics are still in the programming. So you found one. I think
Oopsie daisy.
Grandmaster.
Oh my gosh, Yoan has brought up a good point. That makes you canon to the lore, Bracken.
Oh crap! I don't want that.
Because you were the one who forgot to remove that.
Oh man, I've got to. Oh,
No,
man,
we'll just
Bracken,
pull
are
out
you a
the
mod?
classic mod shenanigans. You know,
There we
the
go.
mods
There
and
we go.
modesses. They're up to some
Yeah,
All
silly
that
okay,
business.
crazy
so-
funky business.
That actually brings me to a question that I wanted to ask, which is like what's the inspiration between like calling like whatever gods are like what's the point in calling them mods rather than gods and goddesses?
Well, for one thing, it kind of makes it fun. It's just kind of like one of those
Yeah.
weird, things you can do. But also because you can like explore deeper topics. Like, okay, so one thing that's kind of interesting to explore is topics of, culture and how cultures are influenced, by things and events throughout their history. You can explore topics about race in D&D through fantasy races, for example. You can really explore harsher, deeper topics without getting too deep where it becomes uncomfortable for people at times. And so with mods, you can kind of do that with like religion too a little bit. You can be like, okay, a hypothetical situation, how would a society react if they just saw a deity at Starbucks? Or, like how would people treat them like they treat celebrities? Would people treat them, exploring topics like that without getting to a point where it makes people uncomfortable is kind of interesting, is something that I'm looking at,
Yeah.
And so by having it be mods, having it be a computer game where you have lore, that's something I want to, kind of consider. Like, how is a city influenced or how is a society influenced by a deity who prioritizes death and battle and war, and your only meaning to life is what you can contribute to a society, and your only meaning is how well you can fight. How does that affect a person's psychology? How does it affect how a culture would grow or fail to grow? Deep
Okay,
questions
now
like those. Yeah.
I know that this is a bit of a deep topic, with the
Okay.
exploring culture and stuff. And Tuxxic, I know that you're watching the stream. I don't know if you are Bracken, but what is this? I'm looking.
He's talking about the Feywild Castle and how there's this little hidden room with a bunch of lapis ore in it.
Oh,
Why? Why?
you got to look at it from an aerial view, to kind of see it better.
There is.
Oh, you can't
what
go into
aerial
creative
view?
mode. Okay, so if you were to fly above the castle and look down, you would notice that the one column that you're in is kind of like a crescent moon drawn in the ground, with the lapis being in the shape
Okay.
of a moon. And the other one opposite you, that's on the right-hand side of the central column, looks like a
Chat, it's
sun.
time to cheat. It's time to cheat. We need to see this. Wait.
Well, you might have the World Sword
Oh.
book. I don't know.
Oh,
So, like,
wait,
if you
yeah.
were to use a command to like cut it in half, the cross-sectional area, you'd see like the floor plan, for example. You'd see a moon floor plan and then a sun floor plan. That's kind of the whole theme of this
I see
Feywild
it. Yeah,
Castle,
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like celestial kind of.
So like that's like the middle circle, then it's an outer circle, and then it's the outer.
Yeah.
There is those kinds of Easter eggs are in like so many of the bigger structures. Like for an example, the Living Palace. I believe there are little things on it that show you the heads of the different Ascended Council members. I think.
Oh, that's cool.
right?
Yep.
I'm
So
that's correct, right?
yep, that's correct. So like this one here, that one is the moon. That one there, that one's the sun. You can kind of see a little bit of. Again, this was done with like the foundation floor planning. So when we built up to it, it doesn't quite convey as well. But
Mm-hmm.
or when I built up to it, um, although Dr. C is currently working on adding things to it right now.
Yeah, so I know that Dr. C is the lead for adding things to the Feywild Castle, but do you like are there any things that you can share with us about um
I'm I'm
what's
going
gonna go in
to
there?
I'm probably going to keep my mouth shut on this one just
All
because
right.
I want everybody to have their time to shine and I don't want to take anything away from that. Like so
Yeah.
I like elevating people and giving them, you know, time to shine and like if I can have everybody in the pack just have fun with what they're doing, then that's awesome and also get recognition for it and I
Of
try and
course.
write glowing reviews of everybody every time they contribute something to the pack. So like
Oh, Yona's asking which structure shows the heads of Fu. So the living palace structure, the one that has the disruptor boss on it. There are a couple, I think, of like, I don't know if they're masks or they're the little heads of the Ascended Council, but there are like Ascended Council members.
yeah, I think it's in that room also with like all those endermites.
Yes. And then
Um
also, if you look closely at the
Chat,
structure
we
and
had
you
a
pay
meteor
attention,
come through and I
it
don't
is
know
a
where it
living
landed.
creature. It's called the Living
yeah, oh
Palace.
yeah.
Sorry, what's a living
The living
creature?
so you
The
know
structure.
the living palace structure where you fight the disruptor boss
The disruptor. Oh yeah. In the
in the
Omnidrome.
Omnidrome. It's basically like kind of like one of those prehistoric sea scorpion looking things like um and it's like been like roboticized so it's kind of like a cyborg
Oh, okay.
and so it's like basically a living ship that the Omnidrome automechs use.
That's cool.
Void Weave is what is the name for void tech, I believe.
You would know.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm more akin to the tech side of things. Bracken does like everything else.
Yeah, but
Is there ever going to be a main campaign or final boss added to the Bracken pack? This is coming from Jakerson.
if I can have my way, we'll try and make a final boss for every dimension.
Oh.
But that's easier said than done.
Oh, well, Grandmaster at one point talked about us having a boss rush. I don't know if we're gonna do that at some point, but I personally would like to.
I'm kind of against it, but I know you guys really want it, so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's that's even further in development. That's after every dimension has had its uh boss. If Bracken doesn't allow it, we'll probably do like an add-on pack that me and Grandmaster can work on where we add a boss rush. Well, I don't know. I don't. We'll see. Again, a lot of that is like way off in the development of whatever we do next. Oh, speaking of development, why don't we talk about the Underdark Trade Center? Oh man,
Oh
holy
man.
smokes!
Okay,
Hmm.
yeah. You guys mentioned this earlier. What is this? What is the Underdark Trade Center?
Do
That was
you
an old
wanna?
abandoned project, but
Yes.
it's still something that could be on the back burner. Basically,
Okay.
a massive village type structure in the Underdark where you can get all kinds of trades. Because in the lore, the Underdark is kind of like a midway between. Why does that guy spawn like in this biome? He shouldn't be spawning in that biome.
Which guy? The horse-headed
The
guy?
horse-headed guy. He should only be spawning in a certain. So I have a
I think
command running.
it's a manic
Okay.
issue.
Okay, because I have a command running that takes anytime a zombie spawns in the Feywild, it transforms into one of those horse guys.
Oh, is it just like a zombie that is what it is, or is
Yeah,
there any
so
extra
it just
AI
takes
on it?
it should well the only change is that it has like increased like attack damage and speed and player detection range.
Okay.
But Manic must have like a default where it has like no AI or something because it's I noticed it wasn't chasing you, it wasn't interacting with you at all.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a manic thing because it had the spawning animation for some of the manic mobs. Also, what is
Mhm.
going on here? Oh, jeez.
Your chunk loading is extremely low. I think there's probably just some tech lag going on.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
probably lag
so
between
the
Discord
Underdark Trade
and
Center was
streaming.
a project that I think we talked about like 2 years ago. It was basically, yeah, like Bracken said, it was I think we talked about it like originally when we first, like,
Chat,
that
I'm
was
gonna
one of the
relog.
oldest mega structures that we talked about doing.
Yeah.
Because I remember giving you concept art and stuff from like Dark Souls 2.
Hmm.
Uh um for like the pit or whatever it was, as
Yeah.
like reference images for the Underdark Trade Center. So that was a long time ago.
Yeah. It was.
Um, but it was gonna be like a place where you could like trade a bunch of really cool stuff, maybe have some cool custom mobs
Mhm.
that represented the different species. And I don't know, we were thinking about adding like a quest system, which would be kind of neat.
I'm
Chat, I
kind of
think the
But
against
game
quest
crashed. I'm
systems
gonna
just because they're
relog.
so involved. Like it's like.
it would be super if we did a quest system. It would be like super simple. Um,
Also, I've always hated it in like. Well, because sometimes it can feel like a little hand-holdy. It can be like go over here, then go over there, and it's like I don't know. Like I really like the open world sense that Minecraft vanilla kind of
Yeah,
has.
I mean,
Ah, yeah.
I
if
don't
we
want
do
to
a
force
quest
people
system,
to go
it'll
complaining
be
about it.
unconventional. It'll be unconventional into Bracken's tastes, whatever that may look like. But that's probably like after Dormus, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. That's like 6 months, and then
It
that's a
it
while
takes a
from
long
now.
time to get things done.
Hmm.
The Underdark Trade Center will be at the bottom of the Bracken Pack iceberg, says Grandmaster.
True,
I
you can
am
make a.
really curious in seeing how that iceberg goes. I have a feeling there's going to be quite a few things on there that like I'll I'll take a look at. Like I am really interested to see what people think.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. Jakerson, there is no slur for Automax.
That's
Oh,
Outlanders can
God.
use against automechs. Oh man. Okay,
hmm.
Jacobson, you're putting me on the spot here. I got to think about that one. Um,
Ooh,
because I
and
know that
they would
Outlanders nickname are
absolutely hate
Machine
them too
Whisperers. Yeah,
because
right.
I guess maybe things correlating with them not being considered a living thing or being soulless or
Okay, how
something.
about we don't go down this line?
See, this is what I'm talking about. Using fantasy to discuss difficult topics and
Yeah, yeah,
through a
yeah.
lens that is less uncomfortable.
Jakerson, we can't make slurs on stream. We can't do that.
I'd rather not make up a slur.
You know what we need? We need more
What one thing
slurs.
that I would like to make up, Dan in chat has said that you guys should add an escort quest where the guy is
It's
slightly
fine.
slower than your running speed and slightly faster than your walking speed,
What is
which
this
I
hacking
think
Sounds
Assassin's Creed?
I think would be so much fun. I would enjoy that.
I am
oh
not
man.
doing some Assassin's Creed
What's
freaking
your
Ooh,
guy's
quest. No.
favorite
have
race?
have
Says
a boss
Grandmaster.
battle slash escort mission where you get to the end of your escort and then you got to find out you have to kill them. Like
Yeah, dude,
I spent all that
thanks,
time
Dad.
getting you here.
Thanks, Dad. Dad's the OG right here, helping us with the Underdark Trade Center quest. Really, really.
That's gonna be all it is.
Grandmaster, what is your guy's favorite race? Cool line. Cool freaking sentence.
which race would dislike the most? That's a good question. I think they all tend to hate each
Oh,
other for different
this
We
reasons.
one
had,
is
oh
slightly
my
more
gosh.
interesting.
Okay, this reminds me. So, little fun, little trivia. We had so Dr. Trog, for those of you who don't know, cool YouTuber, wonderful person. They made
Freaking
this
amazing guy.
a really cool guy. They made this really cool Google Doc uh because they were working on a D&D campaign with the Bracken Pack, which was so
Oh yeah,
fun to be a
yeah,
part of. Um so they asked us for just various questions
yeah. I
like
think I'm gonna
about
add Tree
all
Cap
about the
Theater in
lore.
next stream.
We me, Bracken, Trog, and Dr. C are on like a little, I think, old Discord group chat. We don't use it anymore, but on one of the things, Trog made this entire Google Sheets thing on race relations with one another.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, they've got a whole bunch of stuff in that chat. I might be able to dig some of it up if that interests anyone. But there's like this entire sheet of uh which like races or species likes one another and which ones have like really bad relations. Because that's
Yeah.
kind of important for story creation in like D&D especially.
Well, because anytime
Um,
you have history, you have people who are in conflict with each other.
right,
Mhm.
exactly. So that was cool. We talked a lot about a lot of lore back then. That was super fun. Originally, they wanted to make it so it was a choose your own D&D adventure where you could pick the dimension that you wanted to go to, and based on the dimension that you went to, it would be like a completely different storyline, which
Right.
was
Yeah.
super cool.
That's got to be hard to do as a DM to set up.
It's
Like,
it did end up unfortunately falling apart, but being able to be in the process of helping Trog out during that time was really fun.
yeah.
Yeah, and that leads into Dan's Dan's next question, which has led into another couple chat messages about which race would dislike each race the most.
All right.
And apparently, according to Yoan, the Ender folk would not like the Nereids because they are quote too moist.
That would actually be a viable. Like, humans have hated each other for less reasons, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure Enderlings are pretty chill, from what I know. They're like one of the more chill species
Not
in the
knowing.
pack.
Enderlings, in terms of tropes, what I was thinking of when I was making them, they come into two different flavors. You have the edgelords, and then you have these
Yeah.
bubblegum, sunshine and rainbow types. Like that's the two kind of enderlings you might come across usually. Of course, that's stereotyping, so I shouldn't say. That's just...
Well, I mean, we made the races. We can say what we want.
Chat,
I would
what
say the
race do
most
you like the least?
really, Bracken was right. We're really finding cool ways to talk about interesting subjects.
Realm Keepers
Oh,
probably think
Bracken,
they're
what
better
would you
than
think?
every other race.
Kinda, yeah. Although
Goalkeepers are actually one of my favorites, just because for a lot of reasons. But
they're very imperialist.
yes, but they're
I
like
was
pacifist
considering being a Realm
imperialists.
Keeper for this series, just because, I don't know, it seems like a cool one to do.
They're like,
No,
I base them after kind of like Asgardians,
mm,
where they kind of are like involved with everything going on. But they're like imagine in an alternate universe where the Air Nation attacked instead of the Fire Nation. But you have
okay.
all of these pacifist monks who are just showing up, but you can't get rid of them because they can dodge everything you throw at them. But at the same time, they're not attacking you. They're just kind of there, and you don't want them to be there, but there's nothing you can do.
Okay. So
Really
it's
annoying
like
angry
a,
paladins.
like think, I guess, yeah, think Dumbledore, where
Yep.
he's extremely powerful, but he's not going to attack you. He's just going to
Yeah.
make sure that you're staying in line.
Yep, exactly. Like, you just got invaded by a bunch of lawful goods. Like, that's kind of...
Mhm.
Wow, Bracken, what would you say? What race has the most like animosity towards everyone else?
towards
Maybe the
everyone?
Netherkin?
Who's the most
Maybe the
Well-
Netherkin? I feel like the Netherkin would.
Well, okay, because
Oh,
the
yeah,
Netherkin don't
definitely.
necessarily just hate everyone. That's just their
Yeah.
entire society is just your entire self-worth is how good you are at fighting.
Right.
So they hate everybody equally, kind of, I guess.
In that case, I feel like that would be the one that would hate, because like if you hate everyone equally, then I don't know.
Well, they
Maybe
also hate
not.
themselves, if that's any additional bit to
Yeah.
it. That's
They're like,
Oh,
I see that freaking
Chat, how do I
Outlander
use pottery
tribe. Cool
shards?
tech. Don't mind if I just fight you to the death.
yep.
Little that particular interaction might come into play in a future project of mine.
Oh.
Oh. Interesting segue.
Well, I mean, if that's a segue, then care to elaborate a bit more, or
Oh,
keeping it
yes,
under
I'm working
wraps?
on an art project, a very, very big and complex art project that I will probably post a trailer for in the Discord in like a week or two.
Oh,
But not a promise, just that's like the timeline I'd like to.
of
But
course.
I'm working really hard on it, and I'm trying to make it as good as I can. I'm such a slow artist when it comes to making work. Um, but stay tuned for that. I'll keep you guys updated on that project because I'm trying to make it the best I can. Yeah, because to be honest, I haven't drawn a lot of Bracken Pack stuff in a very long time. I made a few. I think the last time I did anything, I think I made the Automech Confusion emote, and that was
Oh, yeah.
like the
Yeah.
last time that I made anything for the Bracken Pack. And since then, I've improved a lot in my artistic skills. I might make an emote or two before I go back to college in like 20 days. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it's pretty big. Um, and yeah, that I don't know. Look forward to it. I'm pretty stoked about it. I think I hyped up Bracken a bit with some of the stuff that I posted with him. He
Yeah,
he
I'm pretty
knows
excited.
he knows like a lot about it.
Mm-hmm. But it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Anyways, enough of self promotion. Give us another question, another juicy question if you got any.
Oh, I almost just died. Oh, I did just die.
Rest
Okay.
in peace.
You got this.
All right. Let's see. I think I've run my way through all of the run my
Sweet.
way through all
That's totally
of
fine.
my questions.
Well, that actually has
Yeah.
perfect timing too, because I might have to hop off in about 3 minutes. But
All right.
if there's anything else you want to ask me in the meantime before those 3
Yes.
minutes,
People watching in the audience, feel free to
Yeah.
ask
Chat.
last minute things.
read my
Read
Enderling
my
rant. Oh
Enderling
no,
rant.
I'm gonna read some kind
Enderlings
of
get all the
Enderling.
credit as the race with the weakness to water. As a Netherkin main, that hurts my soul. Enderlings at least get teleportation. Netherkin get like lava, and that's it. Yeah, no, us
You also get a strength
Enderling mains
boost
are
every
just
time you're on
great.
fire. Like,
And a permanent strength boost in another.
That's a good
yep,
point. Yeah, weren't you
yeah,
the one
they.
who was talking about how Netherkin can get like 15 damage in a single punch if you have the right conditions? I feel like you have no right to complain, Dan.
I wanted to make them more of a PvP because in the lore there's supposed to be these warriors. So I'm like, oh well, they got to have some kind of strength
Yeah.
bonus or something.
Holy crap, I was standing right next to lava when I died. I do not think a single thing went into the lava. And I do not know how.
Have you guys gotten to mess about with any of my packs?
So for a proper question, have you guys gotten to mess about with any of my packs? I personally
Few
haven't.
there. I think I favorited you on PMC, didn't I? I think I'm following you, right? If I'm not, then I will be soon. But let me check just to make sure. I'm like 99% sure I am.
Oh, Yoan also asked a question as well.
Oh,
Yep, I am following you.
what is
Level
the best way
45.
to get back up to date with the recent pack additions? Are achievements a good guide? Oh,
Achievements. Those I'm trying to guide because like achievements are really good for not only lore drops, but also in guiding players for the potential that they can do. Because sometimes you show up to an unfamiliar dimension, and you just are like, well, what do I do here? There's not really much for me to do. You don't know about hidden structures, you don't know about hidden biomes, and so advancements are really good for leading players in certain directions. A lot of the dimensions like Panacea and the Underdark have a decent amount of advancements that can kind of guide players, but there's a bunch which are like underdeveloped, like the Omnidrome. I don't think that one has any.
No, well,
So
that'll get fixed once we work on like the Omnidrome updates. Probably. I don't know.
yeah,
We'll see.
I have a really
Development of the
fun time
Omnidrome
working on
update is
it.
still early.
I think I do 100% of the advancements, don't I? Yeah, I do.
Yes, you do.
So I usually like to, choose what lore to sprinkle in, and
Mhm.
so if a dimension doesn't have any advancements, that's my bad. But yeah,
All right. Well, on the lore train, unless you have to go, Bracken.
I'll push it for a bit more.
Yeah. Okay. So, is there any like lore things that you guys have just like entirely gotten rid of because I don't know, maybe like an entity in the lore was a bit too powerful, or like stuff that you have entirely retconned away?
Oh, do I have a
Um,
story for you?
oh, is this
Okay.
about the
Oh
camaraderie?
my gosh. Yes, it is.
Yep.
So funny that you mentioned that. Oh my gosh. Dude, so when a long time ago when we were brainstorming a bunch of the different mods and modices, like specifically, um, we were trying to figure out one for the brine. And because all of the mods and modices, they have their name constitutes a specific role in the cornucopia that they do. There's the one
Like an
who,
occupation.
it's kind of an occupation in a sense.
Welcome,
I
Renomesic.
came up with the brine is all about sort of family and being together as one. Um, and so originally there was a bit of a disconnect,
Mhm.
specifically with. So the way that I approached lore back when originally I started is kind of how we approached development originally for a little bit, way back like 3 years ago, which was we kind of would just add stuff to the pack without telling Bracken, which we don't really do that anymore.
I in your guys' defense too, I had a kind of nasty habit of I didn't want to crush anyone's contributions. So if there was an idea that I didn't like, I would just not tell anybody. I wouldn't say yes or no to it. And sometimes they take my silence as confirmation that okay, he's okay with it. Like
Yeah.
But we got to a point where we stopped doing that as much. A lot of the
As
changes
much.
that Grandmaster makes sometimes are kind of unprompted, but they're usually quality of life and like optimization stuff. And
Grandmaster's
it's
really good. Like,
mostly, yeah,
yeah.
it's mostly the big stuff like structures or um, like big things like bosses and stuff like that. We let Bracken we talk to Bracken first before we do anything like that.
Seriously, how to
Anyways,
use these?
um, going back to the lore, I made this brine mod called the Camaraderie, which was this giant school of sentient fish that was basically the fish from Nemo,
Yeah.
the ones that like all made like a bunch of stuff. But it was basically like that. The problem was for a solid like year and a half, I think Bracken just didn't realize that I made the Camaraderie,
I
and
didn't
so
realize he was
for
in the wiki. Like
yeah, so for a year and a half, the Camaraderie was technically in the lore, um, but not only did Bracken not know about it, but it was not actually canon to what it is now, which is the
mhm.
Protector basically guarding two
Okay.
dimensions. And
Yeah.
so for like a year and a half, we had this little blip in the lore, which was huge, just a huge disconnect from what both of us had we're making for like a really long time. And ever since then, I have made sure to talk with Bracken about what I'm doing with the lore. We get out the Google Docs. We get out like kind of, hey Bracken, this is what I'm thinking of. What do you think about this? That kind of thing. Um, and so uh, I don't really do that anymore. Thankfully. Because I think it's really important to realize that when you're working as a team, there are some changes that you just have to be like, yeah, I liked the idea, but it's clear that either no one else does or the guy that's running it, it's not his vision, and so you have to think about even there is some creative freedoms that Bracken really allows me to go for, but I really do want to build the universe with his vision, because at the end of the day, this started out as his pack.
Yeah,
This was his
it is
project,
the
and
Bracken pack.
right, and I want to, even in the lore, despite uh, allowing some creative freedoms, I want to respect that whenever I make lore. And so ever since then, I've just made sure to basically just ensure that what I'm doing is what Bracken wants me to do, or what Bracken's vision is, while also taking a few creative liberties as well.
Yeah. And that's why I haven't been too vocal about things either, because it's like, hey, it's your story, so I don't want to, like, just because it's like, if you make a fanfic about Star Wars, I'm not going to tell you, actually Yoda is 900 years old, he's not 800. I'm not going to, like, tell you stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just going to let your story unfold and, enjoy it, and, and that's sometimes where I get in trouble, is I can be a little too liberal, with things,
Yeah,
but
because then
we all have
if you
fun, and
don't
that's
say anything, then as Tuxxic was saying earlier, that is just like, oh yeah, that's the go ahead.
yeah. But we have a good mojo going with how our
Oh,
developers
frick,
develop.
Dan! Thank you for pointing that out. I need to fix that. Hold on. There's a the camaraderie is mentioned on the lore page.
Oh
no.
wow!
You see, it's things that are still lingering, that are starting to get me.
Well,
Bite me in the butt.
so this is kind of interesting how that relates to the actual lore of what we have. So the mod who runs the brine, the protector, he wants to make everyone happy. And so
Okay.
there's a war right now going on between the realm keepers and the Nereids. So he keeps going back and forth, and he's feeding both sides because he doesn't want to be impartial. And so he's literally, it's his fault that the war is going on for as long as it is, because he's not picking a side. So that's kind of actually part of the lore. That's kind of interesting. Like,
Oh,
that's,
that's funny.
so yeah. But there's all kinds of fun things in the lore to pick and analyze, and I like going as deep, like as deep as you can into certain themes and ideas. I try and do like a kind of a pyramid approach, how a mod shapes an environment, how an environment shapes a society, and how a society shapes a person. That's kind of what I do in the lore a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
All right.
I
Well,
think,
Bracken,
yeah,
you have to head out.
head out. Yeah, it's 8:08 on my
Uh,
time. All right. Well, I'm gonna head on out, but wish you guys the
all right.
best, and this was pretty fun.
See you
Yeah,
around,
yeah,
Bracken.
it was fun.
All right. See you around, dudes.
Tux, you staying around, or do you have to head out
I'll
as
stay
well?
for like another 10 minutes, and then I should probably go eat dinner.
All
I
right.
have not eaten dinner yet.
Okay.
Um,
Tux. Do you know how a decorated pot works in Minecraft?
I think you have to like build the broken shards and put the sherd, or the whatever the frick it's called, of the one in the middle, I think.
What?
Oh gosh dang it. I'm gonna have to look up on the wiki. Let me grab the wiki for you real quick.
All right. I've been silently trying to figure this out for the past 15 minutes.
Let's see. So yeah, okay. So what you can do is you can looks like the crafting recipe, uh you have to put one of the sherds as instead of one of the bricks, I think. So you
You
replace
can't
a
have
brick
all
with a
shard.
shirt.
You can't have all shards. It is actually pronounced shards, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
My bad. It just looks
Yeah,
like
no.
sherds.
People were freaking out because it's shards, and then it's actually still pronounced shards, and just nobody acknowledges it.
That's weird. On here it says that you can put any pottery shard or brick as
It might be
crafting recipe.
changed because of TCC. Because I know the Creeper's Code does change like some of the TNT crafting table chat.
Oh, that's what was happening?
Huh?
Were you crafting it in the wrong crafting table?
No. I was crafting it in the right crafting table, but
Oh,
um
it's just being weird.
yeah. Uh Here, I will try that where I only replace one. No, that doesn't work. What if I put it in the middle? No.
They're doing 3.
Huh?
Or like 3 shards and then 1 brick.
3 shards and then 1 brick?
Yeah. I
No.
don't know. On the wiki it showed that, but I think you might have a data pack that changes
Yeah, I'm
that
guessing it's
particular.
the Creeper's Code. Here, actually, I have the compendium somewhere around here. In one of these chests. There should be some information on it in here.
I do remember seeing the Creeper's Codes update
Oh, pottery
specifically
table.
mention.
Okay.
Oh, makes
Wait,
sense.
didn't we get a pottery table right at the start? Or no, I didn't. Okay. Okay, so I need to make a pottery table. Chat. Oh. Okay, I'll put this in the ground with all of the others. Yes. Okay. Nope,
There
that's
you
not how
go.
that
There you
works.
have it.
Uh,
I think you just put the shards in. Yeah, there you go.
Wait, what?
Or not. What the heck? Maybe you need an item, a specific item.
Maybe. Oh, I put the pot right there, according to this. Yeah. Oh,
Boom. There you have it.
bang. Oh, look at that. Yeah, we have a pot. I broke it. You need silk touch to pick them up, apparently. It's fine. Pot in the middle. Be quiet, chat. I'll get it figured out. But yeah, do you have anything else to add on top of what's already been said?
I mean, I'm happy to have the community that we have. I think it's nice to have a small little community that we've made. I've noticed that it's kind of nice to have
Oh,
Bracken
that does
Pack's
work.
community be small
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I find that, and this was true for like something like, Alex's Discord, Alex's Caves. There was a lot. It's just so much easier to maintain, and I actually get to know people in the
Hmm.
community when you have a smaller one. And so, as much as the Bracken Pack might, not be as known as a lot of mods out there or whatever, I am very appreciative of the community that we've
Yeah,
gotten and that we've had. And it is so nice to be able to sit down and talk with you, Sky, about just the development and ask and answering questions about all kinds of stuff. And yeah, it's been really fun. And I'm gonna keep working on the Bracken Pack with Bracken as long as he is, here. And even then, if Bracken ever decides to pass the project on, I'll probably end up taking it over. We'll see, right? If Bracken ever decides to pass the pack on, I would like to take it over and continue developing it, just because it's been part of my life for 3 years now.
I'll be
Um,
excited to see the Tuxxic pack appearing soon.
no, nothing like that. If we make a like a different version pack, it'll probably be like the cornucopia or something like that. Actually just putting the name of the universe in the pack. Um, I don't know. We'll see. But the point I'm trying to make is we're here to stay, And thank you guys for all of the support. Both you, Sky, that I'm so happy to hear that the pack has inspired people to make their
Yeah.
own stuff. That's so cool. And I'm sure Bracken feels that way too. I'm sure I can say that for Bracken, that he is probably so excited to see what people make out of the pack. Whether that be Yokaiza's lore, SMP, or the fact that he inspired you and a lot of other people to make packs themselves.
Hmm.
And to everyone out there, go out, make stuff, and
Yeah.
enjoy Minecraft. All right, go make content, go make data packs, go make lore. Just make cool stuff because content is so much fun to make.
Because
And
cool stuff is
also,
cool.
also subscribe to Sky Will Die. Do
Oh,
that
thank
too.
you.
Very very cool. It was great to be on uh the stream and just talk. It's yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoy talking with people. So
And chat, if
yeah.
you have somehow not known what the Bracken pack is this entire time, go and check it out. It's on Planet Minecraft. Join the Discord. Get involved, because it is an absolutely amazing project. And Cat Comics, stop making fun of me.
All right. Well, um, oh, Grandmaster's asking about a chess rematch.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh,
Mm.
that brings back memories. I I think it was just in the main, yeah, Bracken Pack Discord. I challenged Grandmaster to a chess match and lost horribly. Anyways, let's
All
light
right.
off this
Well,
TNT.
love
Oh,
you guys.
whoa!
I'll
Oh my
see
gosh! Oh
you
my gosh!
on the Bracken Pack Discord. All right.
Yeah,
Take care, everyone.
yeah. Thank you to everybody for watching the stream. Thank you to Tuxxic for joining. I'm gonna end it now. This was a ton of fun. Yep. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that stuff. And yeah, I'll see you all